Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to High Road Leadership. Just following up from my Live to Lead, which was October 18th at the Stony Point Business Center. And so we had the Live to Lead day. And I just want to give you some of the highlights because we are going to have a follow-on coming up on November 13th, which is going to talk specifically about your strengths and how to communicate with others that have different behavior styles than you do, and also what group discs look like if you're looking at what is the composite of your organization. So we're going to go over what a group disc look like and what you can do with that information, how you can optimize what you're doing and what you're not doing, and how you can make your team better. So that's going to be November 13th, virtually online. You can sign up for that today. And we're also going to do another mini version of the Live to Lead on December 30th. So if you're looking at your new goals for 2025, you can come to our half-day Live to Lead, which will be in Cleveland, Ohio at the Longwood Manner Historical Society from 10 to 2:30. Hopefully we'll see you there. That's going to be in person. The November 13th is virtual. The December 30th is in person. Anyway, here I wanted to talk about a few highlights from the Live to Lead that we did in October. So we talked about John Maxwell's, one of his famous quotes, everything rises and falls on leadership. So everything we talked about throughout the day was the things that you can do to improve your leadership, to essentially help how you're doing business and also help engage with the people that are around you, whether they're your equivalents or other people in different organizations, or people that are supporting your organization. So everything rises and falls on leadership. We talked about how leadership rises when your skills and your values are in alignment. So if you have poor skills and poor values, we talked about how leaders drag down their people. If they have good skills and poor values, we talked about how leaders can manipulate their people. If you have poor skills and good values, leaders really can't help their people because they're not skilled for it. But if you have good skills and good values, leaders raise people up. So we went into some details about that. We talked about the 5 levels of leadership and asked people kind of where they were in their leadership journey and what all those meant and how to get to the next level. We talked a little bit about what you can do to bring people together. So there's a big divide. If you look at statistics right now, about 80%, when you look at some of the Gallup polls that are being done in the Lifeway research, they looked at Americans and where they are on moral issues, and around 81%, this is 2024, around 81% of Americans express concerns that societal morality is on the decline, attributing much of this problem to diminishing empathy, diminishing care for others, and a rise in behaviors like selfishness and disrespect. So that's what's coming out from the studies. Hence the Live to Lead. This is why we're doing it. So we talked about 3 roads you can take: high road, middle road, or a low road leader, and what that means, what you can do to elevate which road you're on. We gave you some steps, talked about what you can reflect on, things that you might want to change to become a high road leader. And then we wrapped up one of the sessions with the 12 attributes of a high road leader. What does that look like? Not only just, it sounds good, but what does that actually look like? What are those attributes? So we brought John Maxwell on to talk a little bit about that. Then we switched over to John Gordon. So if you don't know who John Gordon is, he's works with a lot of the professional teams, sports teams, and looks at why they're maybe failing for the year. But his big message was positive leadership, and the impact of positive leadership. And he gave some examples of how people had turned around when they were engaged with someone in positive leadership. He gave the 4 C's that are important. That's communication, how that creates connection, commitment. Once you have the connection, connect one-on-one and then connect with your team all together. And then he also talked about cultivating, like how can you cultivate that positive environment and how do you get rid of negativity? How do you address it and get rid of it? Just sweep it out the door. So we heard from him. The other thing he talked about is that caring was a part of the commitment piece and that positive leaders leave a legacy. Positive leaders leave a legacy. So if you're selfish, the legacy ends with you. If you are selfless, your legacy lives on. Caring is currency. Caring is currency. So care more so that you can see the greatness in others. We also talked about leadership from a deep dive into your personal mindset. What can you do to change your mindset? And what is an exercise that you can do periodically to help with your mindset to get you on track for high road leadership? So we had a speaker come in, Thomas Cavanaugh, and he talked about some of the tools that you can use to get reset back on the high road leader track. We also heard from Malcolm Gladwell. He talks about your team composition, the importance of perspective on your team. So diversity in a group is not just about the background. It's about having different perspectives and experiences to approach challenges from multiple angles. And he went into the Bay of Pigs fiasco during JFK and the problem that existed in making decisions back then. And he talked a lot about diversity of perspectives in the group and what happens when you don't have that. So he went into all these statistics. So that was very interesting to see how people hire, how people draw people to their teams, and what the challenges and the issues are when it's not done right. So we talked about that for a while. We presented a way to bring different perspectives into the conversation by using the 6 thinking hats by Ed DeBono. So we had a little exercise and talked about how to utilize that. And then we also heard from Michael Jr., who is a comedian. He's amazing how he brings laughter, uses laughter to bring hope to people. And he also talked about how you cannot avoid conflicts because conflicts are what bring you revelation. And he gave some excellent examples. He also left us some things to think about. What if your conflicts were the key to your peace? And so there was a lot of discussion around that. The other thing he left us with is life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you are not free yet. Life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you are not free yet. And we talked about why that is and why you're attracting those people. And then, of course, we ended with some things from John Maxwell, The Joy is in the Journey. We went over 15 different steps about how to see the joy in your journey. And then an action plan with what you can do when you walk out the door to really take an inventory of where you are right now. And then the steps that you need to take to be where you actually want to be in the next 1, 3, and 5 years. So that was our Live to Lead this year. Hopefully you'll join in with us on November 13th. That's a virtual session to talk about individual strengths. And then also, what does it look like on your team? And how can you diversify your team to make it more effective? So that's November 13th. And then if you wanted to sign up for this mini Live to Lead, this is a half-day Live to Lead. It will be in person in Cleveland, Ohio on December 30th from 10 to 2:30 at the Longwood Manner Historical Society. So the link is available for signups. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you back on this channel when we do updates for our upcoming events. And then I have a very interesting thing that I'm going to be rolling out for next year. And I can't wait to tell you more about it. So stay tuned here to find out more. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.